AD, you could argue that you guys played well enough defensively between the rim protection with you and Christian kind of throughout the game and limiting their efficiency. But what did you see on offense with the turnovers and kind of some of the missed shots and how that built?
22 turnovers. Can't expect to win a game like that. Did a terrible job of taking care of the basketball. It's 22 plays that we didn't get a shot on goal. I think we did enough defensively. Just didn't do enough offensively. Turnovers play a big factor. And they're a team who wants to, pressure and, create turnovers. And we had 11 in the first quarter. And was able to combat that and give ourselves a chance to win. Cutting it to 6 and 5. But overall, it's tough to win any basketball game when you have 22 turnovers.
This team, I think you came in ranked 6th in the league, averaging about 13 per game, which is good. Is there anything that you think moving forward, is there anything from tonight that's a concern turnover-wise, or was it just a bad night taking care of the ball?
I don't think it's a concern. I mean, we've been really good taking care of the basketball. Just turned it over tonight.
When without LeBron specifically, and we know Vando's out, how do you try to make up for some of that front court deficit with just some of the size and in a matchup like tonight? And kind of same, we'll see if he's ready for Memphis, but Memphis is another big physical team.
Got Christian, Rui, myself. Just got to figure it out. No matter who's playing, who is playing, we got to figure it out with the 5 guys on the floor.
First 15 games of the season, I think you guys were only under 110 points twice. You've only been over it once in the last 10. What are you seeing offensively? Big picture with this team.
Just got to score. Getting good looks. We haven't been shooting the ball from 3 well. Just got to make shots. We're getting great looks. We're generating open threes. We're generating open looks for our guys. We just got to be confident enough to make them.
There was one play where, after a turnover, Nasrid hit a 3, and I saw you headbutted the ball. It's like in your hands. Where are you at frustration-wise right now?
That was because I turned the ball over. I get a good play. Get a block and a save, and then I come down and kick it to me. I just lost the ball. Generate another turnover. Get back in transition. We scramble and. Reaves hit a 3 at the top of the key, So the frustration just came within myself of turning the ball over and, allowing them to, get a 3. Especially when we just had a good defensive play and we're cutting the lead. So that's where it came from.
Do you feel like the trust in the offensive process is still there, despite like what you were saying, creating good looks but not knocking them down? The offensive struggles of the past couple weeks at this point.
You can't control makes or misses. We just got to continue to, create those looks. We continue to create those looks, then, eventually the shots have to, fall, especially if guys continue to, put in the work and shoot the ball with confidence.
I know LeBron's been away from the team earlier this week. He's dealing with the foot stuff, but this period, 3 games in 2 weeks, basically, is a little bit of a reset. Have you spoken to him about kind of the tone that you guys as stakeholders need to set in this stretch? Does it feel like an opportunity for you two specifically to kind of put your stamp on things?
No, I haven't talked to him about any of that.
Last one on the Grizzlies. You're very familiar with what they want to do. What's most important going into Sunday's game?
Just being physical. They're a physical team, and just like tonight, they try to create turnovers with their physicality, their disruption on the ball, passing lanes, things like that. So we just got to be strong with the ball, and once we take care of the basketball and get some movement, some ball movement, body movement, we'll be able to score. But we can't have 22 turnovers like we did tonight.
Christian, first of all, JJ said that you had a really kind of vocal and a good practice the other day. I want to say on Wednesday, and he thought that translated to the game. What did you see from that standpoint?
Oh, I just felt like, we need more communication. I think I talked about it before we went on this trip. We did a lot of talk, defensive talk in practice, and then just carrying on to the game. I think tonight we had a pretty good defensive game. I think one of our best defensive game of the season. Unfortunately, we lost, but I think we just got to continue to talk on defense, and yeah.
Yeah, clearly the rim protection was there for you, not just the 3 blocks, but just discouraging some shots at the rim. What were you communicating out to the rest of the defense about kind of being organized?
Oh, I mean, we have a defensive strategy. We're just trying to, do whatever the coach asks us to do, and myself, just doing my job, protecting the paint, and just trying to cover up for my teammates. Whenever there was a mistake made, we gotta have cover up mentality. I think we did a pretty good job. I think Eddie got a couple of blocks too tonight. So as I said, we had a pretty good defensively, but yeah, the 4 weren't falling in on offense.
Right, yeah, the offense, the shots weren't going down, and there were a lot of turnovers. So do you see a commonality between those turnovers, especially?
Oh, I mean, it's hard to win a basketball game when you have, I think we had 22 turnovers. So I think that's one of the reasons we kind of lost this game. We have a lot of turnovers. We got to do a better job, protecting. We got to do a better job with the ball, and I think if you have 5 less turnovers, we will have a better game, But that's just part of the game. We have another game on Sunday, so we just got to go home and put this game in the trash and, just save what we have to save from this game and then go to the next game.
Max, before the game, JJ had mentioned you know how Minnesota plays with the ball pressure and excuse me, trying to create turnovers and such. Did you feel like that still, even early in the game, kind of got out of hand, and why do you feel like it did?
Yeah, I mean, we had 11 turnovers in the first quarter. I think we had 22 in the whole game entirely. I had 4, so that's way too many for me. But, yeah, I mean, that's what they do. That's their calling card, is the defensive end. So I thought we did a really good job defensively, and then I think our turnovers kind of just kept us out of the game a little bit on the offensive end. So their pressure bothered us a little bit for sure.
A couple of times you got back into the game and that second unit to start the second quarter and the fourth quarter. What did you see there, and where do you think it kind of ultimately didn't sustain?
I mean, again, I think our turnovers were an issue. I think that's probably just the biggest key to the game for us on the offensive end. We only scored 87 points, and it's going to be hard to win any game against any team in the most prestigious league of basketball. We have 22 turnovers in a game, 11 in the first quarter, dug us into a little bit of a hole. So, that's just kind of the story of the game. You can't have 22 turnovers to another team. Minnesota's really good on the offensive end, too, so we had to take care of the ball.
Do you feel like rust played a factor in terms of the turnovers? Rust.
Oh, rust. I mean, not really. I mean, sure, I guess. We haven't played a game in a few days. I thought we were pretty well rested. I think it showed on the defensive end. But, yeah, I mean, you could say rust a little bit. And then their pressure, you give them credit. They did a good job of pressuring us. They did a good job of disrupting our rhythm. So,
The first 15 games or so this season, you guys were every night consistently over 110 points. You've only done it once in the last 10 games. Where are you? Is there still trust in the process offensively in the room? What are you seeing on that end?
yeah, I mean, nobody's given up on this team, first of all. As us as a unit, JJ said that this morning, everybody has belief in us still from a coaching staff. And I know we have belief in each other. So that's there for sure. But I think offensively for us, we acknowledge it too. After the game, we just got to be better. Our defense has given us chances to win games every single game we're in. And so tonight the turnovers was an issue. Other nights, it can be other things offensively. But it's just a little bump in the road that we got to fix. We got enough guys in this room and enough firepower to know that we can do 100, 110 points a game, like you said. So it's just a blip for us, and we're not concerned. It's a long season. We're over about a quarter of the way through, so we got 3/4 still of the season to go. So we're not worried. We got a lot of time to fix it, and we're going to be proactive with it for sure. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Yeah, I think a lot of that, the first quarter was my fault, not having us organized, not being on the court, like the last 2 weeks. I thought, kind of left a little indecision in my mind, with some stuff that we could have been doing, so I got to be better there. But I thought after that we were, very solid, obviously a turnover here and there, a couple missed, box outs on free throws. Those are really big plays, so I'll watch film, I'll get better, and like I said, I'll see what I can do to help us be better in that aspect, and put the team in good positions to be successful.
JJ mentioned that he felt like obviously after turnovers, you guys start to create some good looks. Process-wise, how did you feel about the offense in terms of what you guys are generating out there?
Yeah, I thought we did get a lot of good looks, in that fourth quarter, third quarter, when we didn't turn it over. Just unfortunately, we did make a couple of them, and it's a miss make league. If you miss a shot on one end, or miss two in a row, they have opportunity to make us have a 6-0 run, whatever. It's a very big momentum game, and tonight we just didn't have enough of those plays to win the game. But I thought we competed every possession to at a high enough level to win the game. We just didn't make enough shots.
I think we spoke about this a little bit this morning, but when the shots aren't falling, does that make it more challenging to trust the process of just how you're creating shots?
It shouldn't, especially if you like the shots that you're getting. I think when you create good looks and they don't go in, it shouldn't be turn away from that because it was a good look. At the end of the day, miss or make, we want to get those looks as many times as we can. But I do think human nature, you do get frustrated. But like you said, you got to stick with the process of doing the right thing, playing the right way. And we talked about, believing in the basketball gods this morning. And, that's a real thing in my mind. Once you play the game the right way, do the right things, then you'll be rewarded.
Austin, there were a handful of moments in the second half where you guys would cut it to 5, create an open shot, it wouldn't go in, there would be kind of an unforced turnover. What did that sort of feel like as you guys were on the climb? And you mentioned frustration, but it seemed like it was a chase that you guys obviously I don't think you guys ever led.
Yeah, I think in those situations, you feel like you're chasing the lead. Like if you're down, you are chasing. And like you said, we got some good looks. We had some unforced turnovers, but at the end of the game, it's the game. Like, you're gonna do those things. You're gonna mess up. You're gonna miss shots. You're gonna make shots. You just got to have a next play mentality, and I thought we did a very good job of that overall. But like I said, it's a miss-make league, and we just didn't make enough shots. And I think if we go back and watch the film on the shots that we were creating and the good looks that we got, we would, if we could simulate the same thing over again, I think we would do that with the same guys shooting the ball, the same guys passing the ball. So overall, I think you just, like I said, you got to trust the process and trust that at the end of the day it'll work.
The first, I'm looking at it here, the first 15 games of the season, you guys, I think, were under 110 points just twice. And in the last 10, I think you've only been over it once as a team. What are you seeing night to night offensively that's not working?
It's a great question. I think that we did get away a little bit from the process that we were talking about, to be completely honest. And I think that that's human nature to do that. I think if in any, profession, I think if y'all was to write a bunch of things that people didn't like to read, then you would pivot to something else, even if you were writing the right stuff. So I think in any profession, you become, a little frustrated if the results aren't what you want them to be. And I don't think the change is necessarily bad. I think people are trying to figure out what we can do to be more successful. And I think that we can go back to a lot of the things we were doing at the first of the season, and that will help us be more successful. But like I said, I don't think there's any intent behind, the way we're playing. I think everybody in that locker room wants to win basketball games. And at the end of the day, that's, what we're trying to do, even if the result's not what everybody wants it to be. I promise you, when we lose, that those guys in the locker room, staff, everybody, organization included, is more frustrated than the average person that's, watching the games wanting us to win. Appreciate y'all.
Lady is almost dressed. Go straight back.
JJ, that turnover number obviously jumps off the page, and 14 in the first half. I know you would expected them to be super physical. That impacts it some, but where did you see most of the turnovers coming from, and how much of a key factor was it?
They came in a number of ways. Some passes that we tried to fit through tight windows. Never want to inbound the ball to the other team after a made field goal and give up a dunk. Some of it, not holding our positioning and timing our sort of physicality to get open on horns. I think we had 3 turnovers just on horns alone. Yeah, I mean, killed us.
We came into tonight talking about the benefits of the rest and the 4 days off from games. How much did you feel that, I guess, unintended consequences, side effects of just rust came back to haunt you guys tonight?
I'll give them some credit. That's what they do. And, not only do they have the physical makeup on the perimeter, they know that they can be aggressive because then there's Gobert behind there. So it's a lot of it is, their team. But overall, though, we were able to generate some great looks from 3. Just feels like we were can't really get into that rhythm from behind the arc, and another game where we shoot some good threes and just can't knock them down.
Is there anything that can be done about that? I mean, D'Lo had a wide open corner 3 with a chance to cut it late. Dalton badly missed a wide open 3. I mean, is there anything that can be done about this, or is it simply just keep creating the shots? And
Yeah, I think you have to trust the process of running good offense and getting good looks, and trust that those shots will, in the aggregate, go in more.
You mentioned their physicality, and I've asked you a bunch about your team's physicality. Do you feel like you guys have made headways in terms of playing a more physical style, particularly on the defensive end?
Some of the guys have, yeah. Some of the guys have. Overall, I really thought that was probably our best defensive game we've had all season. Even when we got stops, turnovers, I don't know what our. It says we were 4 for 6 on fast break points. That's a lie. We just weren't able to convert on the other end, but we were able to get stops, get a lot of stops. Gabe, Max, Austin had a great clip of him at halftime. I think their physicality, Rui, their physicality is good right now.
There was a play, I think, in the third quarter, but you guys had a bunch of plays like this where you guys had gotten it to like 5 or something like that, and 80 gets a stop, makes like an incredible defensive play, saves the ball, gets a stop, brings it up the court, and like the ball just like squirts out of his hands, and then I think Naz Reid hits a 3, and it's 8 again. Did it feel like whenever there was that kind of maybe like that one next play to be made?
Yeah. And it's interesting because I think there's a control of the game that you can take or relinquish. And it felt like they had control of the game. And anytime we got close to sort of being able to be in a position that we could potentially regain control, kind of shot ourselves in the foot with turnovers a lot. And even, we're down 5, 87-82, and we get a stop, and Rui gets the rebound, and 80's just trying to make a play and get the ball, and he knocks it out of Rui's hands. McDaniels gets a layup. It just felt like, maybe one of those nights that that stuff happened. But our group competed. We were connected. We had the right spirit. I'm very encouraged by that. I think you can build off of that. You can build off of some of the stuff we did defensively from a scheme standpoint. And again, we're trying to figure out kind of what works with our switching groups. And I thought what we did tonight was good. So I'm encouraged.
What progress have you seen from Christian over the last several weeks since he made his return, especially building off of performances? I think tonight, 3 blocks, several rebounds in 12 minutes.
Well, I'm hoping he can build off of tonight because that was the best he's played. There was one coverage call that he missed when Dillingham hit his second 3 in the second half on a Ram screen, and he came up and didn't give Cam the right coverage call. Outside of that, he was awesome tonight, and I think his activity, his rim protection, that's his skill. He's got great length when he's talking, and it's funny because there is some carryover from practice where it was the most vocal we heard him on Wednesday, and then he comes into tonight and has a great game. So he can build on that.
JJ, just following up on that a little bit with Koloko, but you had started the year with some of the 2 big looks when Jackson was healthy into some success. Of course, he's hurt now. Christian's hurt. You got to get to know the two-way guys. Teams aren't typically using them in the rotation that much, right? Have you thought about trying to get back to some of those looks, or have the limitations of who you can play?
No, I haven't.
Just any reason why?
The 2 big looks.
Yeah, like when.
Yeah, it's not a good fit, and I don't think it's a great fit with Jackson either. So, I think we're really encouraged. I know he didn't have a great shooting night tonight in terms of scoring the basketball, but we're really encouraged with kind of the growth Rui's had, and whether it's LeBron or Rui playing the 4 with Jackson or Koloko, we like that better.